you're building something that takes multiple administrations.
So I say build it. Even though I'm known as a person that has very little patience, but for projects, I have a lot of patience. And so for building my body to a perfect body took years and years and years. And the same is with infrastructure. Democrats and Republicans voted to approve a $37 billion transportation infrastructure package.
That was one of the fastest 180s you'll ever see. He's the guy who turns his boat towards the torpedo, and he flipped it really, really quickly.
There was Republicans and Democrats together. Oh, the people loved that. It really helped me with my re-election campaign because I really didn't have to go out and campaign. This was the campaign.
With just a month to go before Election Day, California's Republican governor is pumped up about his prospects of winning.
And I won the governorship again, and the people were happy, and everything was dandy and fine again. But it's politics.
What a fantastic evening. Yeah, I love doing sequels. I love doing sequels.
Movie Edits 237, what's up? How you doing?
I maybe say I'm a Republican, and here is the way I would solve the problems. But then at the same time I have to say, what is it that the Democrat says about solving the problems, and why do they think that? I remember that Bobby Kennedy Jr., when I ran for governor, he's a Democrat. And he calls me and says, I want to help you. I say, how? He says, I'm going to give you someone that is the #1 environmental expert, Terry Tamminen. Bring him onto your team and talk about the environment.
As a Democrat and flame-throwing environmentalist, many of my friends said, how could you possibly help Arnold Schwarzenegger? He's a Republican. I said, yeah, but look, we want a Republican to be saying the things that we're saying, and I think Arnold is that Republican.
These are the kind of things that we can accomplish if both parties work together. I set out to go and do whatever I could pass the strictest environmental laws in California. I said, why would we reduce greenhouse gases by 5%? That's bullshit. That's fucking little thinking. What's the matter with you guys? Let's reduce greenhouse gases by 25%. And California has so much sun, we're not using it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in San Francisco announcing with great fanfare a California law to curb emissions of greenhouse gases.
In a few minutes we will be signing Assembly Bill 32. When we sign this bill, we will begin a bold new era of environmental protection here in California that will change the course of history. I realized that we are onto something really big. We could be the leaders not only in California, but the leaders in America and the leaders in the world. California is moving the United States beyond debate and doubt to action. So I urge this body to push its members to action also. And then when Obama was elected president, he then adopted our California tailpipe emission standards and made it national.
And I want to applaud California, Governor Schwarzenegger, and the entire California delegation for their extraordinary leadership. They have led the way on this, as they have in so many other efforts to protect the environment.
When I became leader of the Conservative Party in Britain, one of the first things I did was point out it is a conservative thing to be concerned about the environment. It was very inspiring to see someone running one of the most important economies in the world, but at the same time saying, actually, these two things aren't in conflict. If you want a growing economy, you need to have long-term a green economy too, right, and all agree to the net zero. So we're in a good shape. You step back from the whole thing. It's exciting to kind of look at an issue like that, study it and learn it, and then try to figure out how can you help. And an opportunity for me to do something and have an impact. When I was in movies, the kids would come to the studio and they would do their homework. And then whenever they called me into the set, they all ran into the set and they all just were waiting, and then all of a sudden, boom, there was a shootout and everything was blowing up and everything like this. That was really cool, wow. They were going out high-fiving each other, so the kids loved all this stuff. So when I go to Sacramento, and then all of a sudden the kids visit me up there, they said, Daddy, I hate it here. And these people, they act so serious. Why are they all wearing suits?
they just were absolutely in shock and despised my job. And then on top of it, then you spend 4 days a week up in Sacramento. And my kids would say, hey, you didn't come to my recital on Tuesday. Yeah, and what about my basketball game on Wednesday? And I would say, I promised to serve the people of California. Yeah, but you promised family is supposed to be always number one. And I started crying. Maria didn't help much at all. Because Maria says, you just express yourself, kids. Just let daddy know how you really feel. I said, well, thanks a lot. It was very important to see each one of the kids have their needs. That your wife, that the whole family has its needs. That how you have to take vacations together, how you have to communicate with the kids every night. That you don't just stay obsessed with your goals, but then that becomes an overall bigger goal. But that's a tough one to handle when you hear your kids complaining